The Smorgasbord Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Smorgasbord Radio Show, SmorgShow Podcast, episode 171. This is a special edition of the podcast. We have a special Thanksgiving episode and another surprise. Back in the studio is my daughter, Allie.
Since Turkey Day is coming up.
Oh, gobble, gobble. Gobble.
Who's that?
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of festivity going here. How's that sound?
You introduced it as my daughter, and then it's a little girl saying. Yeah. I was like,
sorry,
is that me from years ago?
That is not you. I just found that for some reason. I thought it would be good to throw it in.
That's very cute.
Anyway, welcome back to the studio, Allie.
Thank you.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, we were just trying to...
Isn't that what the youngsters say?
Just stop while you're behind.
Did I use it in the right context?
Actually, yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, I started speaking because I didn't overthink it too much.
Yeah, I should have just let it go.
Yeah, don't draw attention to it.
Oh, man.
That's what
right.
makes you not cool anymore.
I'll fit it in later in the show somehow.
Okay,
And, we'll just
I
pretend
can't wait.
Okay.
But yeah, we were trying to figure out the last time that I was out here, or well, I mean, not out here, but last time that we recorded an episode together.
Yeah, when was that?
Well, I know we did I feel like the last time I was here, we referenced the generational dating episode.
That's
so I
right.
feel like there's been an episode since then because I feel like we referenced that episode together
Maybe.
the last time I was here when we were also trying to figure out the last time I was here.
Do you think it was any time in 2023?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Allie and I kicked this show off back in 2010, and we did these together for probably the first 90 episodes, and then it kind of broke apart. I think you kind of got busy with...
The band broke up? No.
The band broke up, and that's when I brought the guys in, Dave and Jerry, and then Jerry's actually been doing most of the last 70 shows or so with me.
Isn't that a funny full circle, though? Because this really had its start in your high school days when you made fun of Jerry. And now he's your, other co-host.
He's keeping the show going with me somehow.
So life has a funny way of, throwing the punchline at you sometimes. But,
Yeah.
But, and now it's episode 171,
I know.
Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. I guess it is coming up on 14 years since we started this. So really in podcast aging, I should be somewhere around 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But it is what it is. I do it when I want. And So I think this episode is going to take us back to our roots a little bit. It's going to be a little more lighthearted than, let's say, the Jerry content typically goes. And there's no drinking here either. I need to set a good example for my daughter.
It does have, it will have a little bit of our old, like, podcasting day flair, you know? Kind of the whimsical, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Very festive, you know? I feel like we've always done a great job of acknowledging the upcoming holiday, whatever the upcoming holiday is, and doing something in spirit of that. So
that's right. So what we're going to do today, well, let's start with this opening segment and just do some turkey history trivia. I did some research.
Sounds good to me.
You know, Thanksgiving, of course, is the time for gathering with your loved ones and giving thanks, of course. But it's also synonymous with the delectable main course of the turkey.
Yes.
So as you prepare to carve the iconic bird and savor its mouth-watering flavors this Thanksgiving, we thought you'd appreciate these fun and fascinating turkey trivia facts to feast your mind upon.
By the way, little side note / question.
Yes.
Are we allowed to say Thanksgiving anymore? Isn't it giving of thanks?
Giving of thanks. Yeah, you tell me. You heard about this, right? You did something.
Well, and I feel like there's never an announcement about these things. All of a sudden, you're just reading something and it'll be like, with the upcoming giving of thanks break, and you're like, hang on, back up.
Yeah,
what?
What?
Why wasn't I informed? And then if you ask, wait, what is that? It's like, oh, you don't know. Yeah, I know. So I'm never at the meeting where it's decided upon.
It's amazing to me how quickly these things get out there. It's almost like I'm not part of the email list where the new norms are published. But it seems like everybody.
But do you want to be? Do you want those emails?
I don't.
You'd probably get an email every 10 seconds. You know?
Yeah, it seems like things are changing at rapid pace here.
But anyway, yes, I've seen schools send emails out to the kids about, like, enjoy your giving of thanks break.
They're still doing that?
I don't know. I think that was either last year or the year prior that I first saw it. But, you know, I've seen things about how, like, people are like, oh, Thanksgiving is a problematic holiday because of, you know, the Native Americans and whether they were treated well. But it's like, is anybody, when they celebrate Thanksgiving with their family, like, I don't know if people are really reflecting on, like, the first Thanksgiving. I mean, you know, you talk about the pilgrims in school and all that, but, like, I don't know what's wrong with just, it's a day for family, for reflecting on the things you're grateful for, a good meal together. I mean,
think most people do that.
You learn about the history of it, sure, but you can't change the history. So
exactly,
enjoy it for what it is and what it's become as an American holiday, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Thanksgiving, we have traditionally, we've hosted here. Oh, that was the thing I was going to ask you. Yeah, so last year, Allie and my son-in-law, Thomas, Allie's husband, they hosted their first Thanksgiving at their townhome. And I think it was for, 14 people?
Yeah, we somehow had enough seating for 14 people. It was a little crammed, but
was still cramped,
we made it work.
But it's back in our camp again this year, and it's going to be a smaller gathering, which is fine.
But Thomas still wants to be in charge of the turkey this year.
Yes.
Because last year, he I don't know how many days he spent on it with, like, making the brine and then having it marinate in the brine and everything, but he uses our smoker pellet grill and smokes the turkey. And it was fantastic last year. It was so moist.
Yes.
Juicy. Even like and we just did turkey breast last year. We didn't do, like, the full bird.
Right.
And, you know, like, with the full bird, you get the white meat, you get the dark meat because sometimes the white meat can get dry.
Yeah.
But it was like, I didn't even miss the fact that there wasn't any.
No.
Like, I didn't miss the dark meat at all because it was, like, even the white meat was moist.
Yeah. He makes good meat. So he's bringing it over for our gathering next week, which I can't believe is already next week.
I know it is early this year, but I know it feels like it's come up so fast because our weather is still nice. We still have like 60 degrees.
I know. So back to the trivia here. I guess we'll just go back and forth. You and I will share this, but the first one is the presidential tradition. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was the one who proclaimed Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863? And what's more, the first turkey pardon was given by President Harry Truman in 1947. And since then, it has become an annual tradition, making sure that at least one lucky turkey gets to live out its days without ending up on a Thanksgiving dinner plate. So it was one turkey per year would be pardoned by the president, usually like on the White House lawn or something. They have it all set up. But in 2001, that's when it started to become a tradition to pardon two turkeys, one that would look best on camera and a backup in case the first one got skittish before the crowd.
So is it okay if the backup turkey looks a little ugly and disheveled?
Yeah, that's okay
because
to do
they're
that.
like, oh, he's not our, the face. He's not our.
Yeah. So then it got me thinking of some of the creative names that they've come up with over the years. And so, in the Bush years, the first pair of turkeys that were pardoned, they were named Liberty and Freedom, which in the wake of 9/11, that made sense. And then in the next year, it was Katie and Zach, named after the children of the chairman of the National Turkey Federation. Didn't know there was one.
Neither did I.
And then we got into Stars and Stripes, Biscuits and Gravy, Marshmallow and Yam, Flyer and Fryer, May and Flower, and Pumpkin and Pecan.
That's cute.
That's cute. And then in Obama years, Courage and Carolina. Don't know.
Was there something in the news with, like, North Carolina? There wasn't a hurricane that year, was there?
2009? I don't know. Don't remember. Apple and Cider, Liberty and Peace, Cobbler and Gobbler, Caramel and Popcorn, Mac and Cheese, Honest and Abe, and Tater and Tot. Those are cute.
So still going with the fall food themes,
Yep. The Trump years, Drumstick and Wishbone, Peas and Carrots, Bread and Butter, Corn and Cob. Now we get to the Biden years, and somebody didn't get the memo of what you're supposed to do.
This is so fitting for
peanut butter and jelly, and chocolate and chip.
And that is what we can refer to see the state that our country's going in. No, we're not going. It's like, what happened to all the Thanksgiving theme names?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
what the heck is that?
You can just smell the smoke coming from the brain. Oh my gosh, I got to think of two words that go together. What about Thanksgiving theme? No, just two words that go together. Anything.
Well, we're just days away from finding out what 2023 is going to be.
That is true, yeah.
But
do you have any
I have no
predictions?
Nothing's coming to mind right now.
Yeah. If you had to name
gin and tonic.
Yeah. If you had to name two turkeys, what would you name them? Like a cute pairing. Go with Thanksgiving theme.
Tom and Henrietta.
Those are good turkey names.
Which is actually the lead-in for your next one. But before you go there,
what about green bean and casserole?
Oh, that's good too. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
We've come a long way from the Nixon era, when one doomed bird had its feet nailed to the table because he wouldn't behave before the press. Oh. I didn't know about that. I wonder if that was televised. I got to see that one.
What a chaotic presidency.
Get down there. Okay. Over to you, Allie.
So Turkey Tom and Henrietta is a nice segue that you laid out for us here.
Yeah.
So Tom turkeys are the iconic gobbler, which I think is the guy we're hearing right now, known for their bold plumage and distinctive call, which what's funny is that pluma means pen in Spanish because of you can think like feather pen. So plumage, plume, the feather. Anyway, I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, so that's tom turkeys. Hens, on the other hand, are usually smaller and brownish, blending in with their surroundings. Typical for female birds where they blend in with the nest, so that they're more camouflaged. When Thanksgiving arrives, it's typically the tom turkey that takes center stage on the dining table. Poor Tom. Henrietta is often spared to keep the turkey population thriving. So I guess it's like her husband's going off to war or something,
Yeah. Aren't they the ones? Yeah, they're the ones that spread their feathers and that's a peacock.
Well, no, turkeys
do
too,
that,
because they show off in
They
order
show
to attract a mate.
Attract the mate, yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Native American contribution. The Native Americans were crucial in introducing the Pilgrims to turkey as a food source. The wild turkey, native to North America, was hunted by Native American tribes long before the arrival of European settlers. These tribes shared their turkey cooking experience with the Pilgrims, helping to shape the traditional Thanksgiving meal.
Or so you've been brainwashed to believe.
That's right.
The turkey trot. Many cities host turkey trots on Thanksgiving morning, which I've considered doing one before. I think I got invited last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, where you do a 5K or something Thanksgiving morning. But I don't know. I don't like the idea of waking up early, getting all sweaty. Like I just want to sleep in and be in sweats in the morning on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But anyway, many cities host turkey trots that morning, which are fun runs or races to help participants burn off some calories before indulging in a hearty Thanksgiving feast. The oldest turkey trot, held in Buffalo, New York, dates back to 1896, making it a long-standing Thanksgiving tradition. You would totally work up an appetite.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
crash later.
Yes.
So.
The domestic turkey we feast on today is descended from the wild turkey. These wild birds are native to North America and were first domesticated by indigenous peoples over 2,000 years ago. Without this culinary curiosity, our Thanksgiving tables might look quite different.
Mm-hmm. And we have to address the myth surrounding Thanksgiving.
Here we go.
The tale of Pilgrims and Native Americans peacefully sharing the first Thanksgiving feast is a beloved story, but the specifics are still debated, as we've kind of referenced on the show.
That's right.
There's no concrete evidence that turkey was part of the first Thanksgiving, and it's more likely that the feast consisted of venison, fish, and fowl rather than the star turkey. So it sounds like that it was later that I mean, you know how you said the Native Americans introduced the turkey as a food source, but it's maybe not what they dined on at that first Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah. So the myth continues.
They probably didn't have pumpkin pie either, is my guess.
Probably not.
So this whole thing has just been
One big farce.
Yeah, right.
The turkey population. It's quite substantial, with an estimated 235 million turkeys raised in the United States each year. The majority of these birds are destined for Thanksgiving dinner tables, making it the most significant day for turkey consumption. So if they can just make it past Thanksgiving, they're usually in the clear.
Yeah, what's the age for like the best turkey? You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't take like a baby, like they wouldn't start raising a turkey to be born, like planning for a turkey to be born like November 1st. Like you want like a full grown turkey. I just wonder what the
Right.
age is. And if they get past that, their first Thanksgiving, then are they in the clear? Or like could next year they be, because how long do they live?
I don't know, but I'm sure we
Can
could
we
ask.
Alexa, how long do turkeys live? Let's see. what she has to
Turkey's
say.
lifespan varies between 1 and 10 years.
Oh, so are you really in the clear after that first Thanksgiving? Or, you know,
I don't know.
I don't know when the cutoff is where it's like, oh, we don't want an elderly turkey. Like, what's elderly, you know?
Yeah.
We're asking the real questions.
Well, we'll keep Alexa around if other things like this come up because we're very inquisitive.
Mm-hmm. Anyone curious about the largest turkey ever?
I am.
According to the Guinness World Records, the largest turkey ever recorded weighed a whopping 86 pounds.
Wow.
While this behemoth would have been an impressive sight, it's far from the size of the average Thanksgiving turkey, which weighs around 15 pounds. So your other hope
Yeah.
of being spared is just become an obese turkey, and then they won't use you. So
Yeah, 86 pounds. I wonder how long you have to keep that in the oven.
oh my gosh,
You
yeah.
gotta start a week earlier. Male turkeys are known for their distinctive gobble, a call used to communicate with other turkeys. Interestingly, a group of turkeys is called a rafter or a gang. So when you see a gang of turkeys roaming your neighborhood, they're not planning on a heist.
That seems
They're just hanging out together.
That seems fitting because I feel like a group of turkeys never look like they're up to any good. Like they just look like they're scheming when they're like.
They do.
You know, they have that look about them.
I see them hanging on the side of the roads, not too far.
Yeah,
from
that's
here.
right.
Just hanging
in the country roads of rural Illinois.
Not a care in the world.
Turkeys are famous for their impressive, colorful tail feathers, which they use to attract mates, as we said before.
Yeah.
The males fan out their feathers in a dazzling display during mating rituals. These feathers can grow to be up to a foot long and have striking patterns that can captivate any observer.
Pretty cool.
So there you go.
Yeah. So there you go. When you sit down for your Thanksgiving feast with your family, let these turkey trivia tidbits add an extra layer of enjoyment to the holiday.
Yeah,
So-
if it gets either too quiet around the table, too awkward, or if Aunt Brenda starts talking about her 5th divorce, then maybe say, "Hey, we're gonna detour the conversation. How about some turkey facts?" So, because
Yeah.
we love those awkward family conversations.
We do. All right. Thanks, guys. You guys can go away now. All right, turn these guys off.
Beat it, gang.
Okay, there they go. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break here. We're going to go deep in the bowels of the archives. And we've got 41 years of bowel on the show.
That's a deep bowel.
We could be going back to any year. But this is going
Gonna have
back,
to
I don't know.
reach pretty far.
Yeah, I don't
elbow deep into the bowel.
That's right.
Sorry.
We're going to have Baba take over. We're going to come back with a very special installment.
Very special.
You're going to love this. This is Baba. What's he going to talk about? Turkey names around the world. We might have dug this up over the years because we always look for a Thanksgiving themed Baba. And there's not too many because they don't celebrate in India. So this is like one of 3 things that he's done over the years for Thanksgiving. So we're going to play this. And when we come back, we're going to take listener emails and voicemails that were transcribed for us on our very first annual Turkey Smorgasbord hotline. You know, if the Butterball Turkey Company can do this, so can we could steal it. Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back after this. Hello, everybody. This is Baba Gonesh. I have been asked to say something about the Thanksgiving holiday. And since I am Indian, I don't know too much about it, but I am here to talk about the turkey. Yes, I know I've been getting a lot of negative criticisms that I'm always talking about Indian holidays and I don't talk about American holidays. But why would you want to hire me to talk about American holidays? You could do that yourself. I will take this up with the management at a later time. Having said that, Baba is here to talk about the Thanksgiving turkey and how it got its name. The United States Thanksgiving holiday, as you know, is symbolized by its traditional food, a large bird that you all call the turkey. But turkey is certainly not from Turkey. In fact, its English name is based on one big mistake. We could say it's a case of mistaken identity. And Baba is here to set the record straight. The word Turkey has meant the land of the Turks since ancient times. The word turkey, as it refers to the bird, first appeared in the English language in the mid-1500s. The misunderstanding over the word happened because of 2 similar-looking kinds of birds. There is an African bird called the guinea fowl. It has dark feathers with white spots and a brown patch on the back of its neck. Portuguese traders brought the guinea fowl to Europe through North Africa. This foreign bird came to Europe through Turkish lands, so the English thought of the bird as a Turkish chicken. When Europeans came to North America, they saw a bird that looked like a guinea fowl, and this bird was native to the North American continent. Orrin Hargreaves is a lexicographer. That is somebody who writes dictionaries. Hargreaves explained what happened. He said that some Europeans saw an American turkey, thought that it was the guinea fowl, which at that time was called the turkey cock, and so gave it that same name. But hundreds of years later, we continue to call this North American bird turkey, even though it has no connection at all with the country Turkey or even with Europe. But English is not the only language with interesting and even questionable names for this North American bird. The Turkish, for their part, call turkey Hindi, the Turkish name for India. This is where Baba's specialty comes into play. The reference to India probably comes from the old wrong idea that the New World was in Eastern Asia. The French call it dinde, a name that also connects the bird to India. Dinde means from India in the French language. Turkey has similar names in other languages. So, what do they call this North American bird in India? Well, in the Hindi language, turkey is tarki. But wait, there is so much more. In Portuguese, the same bird is called Peru after the South American nation. And Baba went out to do extensive research to continue to search for other names. I have a few other names of turkey to share with you. The Vietnamese word for turkey is gattai, or western chicken. That local bird is smaller than the western chicken. The Burmese word for chicken, the Burmese word for turkey is kyatsang. And that name translates to elephant chicken in English because the animal looks like a very big chicken. And that, I think, is the extent of my extensive research. Thank you so very much. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And whenever this show gets back on regular schedule, I will be back with more Baba information. Have a good weekend or holiday or whatever. Goodbye. Thank you very much, Baba.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. All right, Allie, I'm nervous about this. Let's see how this goes. We're going to do our first annual Turkey Hotline.
The butterball is in our court.
That's right. So let's start this off and see how it goes.
All right.
All right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Turkey Talk with Chef Allie. I'm your host, Chef Allie, and I'm here to help you master the art of turkey preparation. We've received a lot of fantastic questions from our listeners, and tonight I will be answering them all. So, whether you're a novice or a seasoned cook, let's get your turkey ready for the perfect feast. Let's dive right in.
Thank you, Chef Allie. We've been asking our listeners to send in emails as well as to call our turkey hotline at 312-95-SMORG, and the response has been overwhelming. So we're using our space as both a kitchen and a call center. We are. Let's try this out. There we go. Yeah, there's our call center and our kitchen. Our call screeners are still getting calls, and they're transcribing them for us. They're going to put it on Post-its, and they're going to hand them to me as we go forward. I've got a few to start that came in over the past week. And in order to answer as many as possible in this short segment, we're going to do a rapid-file Q&A. So let's first start with the caller questions, and then we'll move over to some of the emails we've received at our listener feedback email. Are you ready to go?
I sure am.
All righty. Our first question comes from Steve in Chicago. Hi, Turkey Talk. I always struggle with thawing my turkey. What's the best way to do it?
Great question. Thawing is essential to ensure safe cooking. The best method is to thaw your turkey in the refrigerator. For every 4 to 5 pounds, you'll need about 24 hours of thawing time, so be sure to place it on a tray to catch any potential drips.
All right, that sounds great. Our next question comes from Bonnie in Tyler, Texas. There was a Bonnie Tyler, remember her?
No.
That song, Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah. So we got a Bonnie and Tyler here. I want my turkey to be super flavorful. What are some great seasoning ideas?
That is a fantastic question. You can try a classic herb butter rub, a citrus and herb brine, or even a savory dry rub. The key is to season generously, both inside and outside the turkey. Remember, don't forget to season the cavity for an all-around flavor.
All righty. Our next question is a safety-related question, and it comes from Fred in Downers Grove. I've heard of deep frying turkeys. Is it safe? And do you have any tips for that?
Deep frying can be delicious, but safety is paramount. Make sure you do it outdoors, never indoors. Also, fully thaw your turkey and use an appropriate deep fryer. And keep a fire extinguisher nearby and never leave it unattended. Follow a reliable recipe and watch for the right oil temperature.
Sounds great. Our next question comes from Kyle in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Carving a turkey is intimidating for me. Can you share some carving tips?
Certainly. Let the turkey rest for about 20 to 30 minutes before carving. Start by removing the legs and wings, then slice the breast meat against the grain for tender pieces. Use a sharp knife and don't rush. Take your time to get beautiful slices.
That's fantastic, Chef Allie. Let's move on to some of our listener emails. Our first letter comes from Sarah in Kansas. She writes, Dear Turkey Talk, I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to cooking a turkey. What's the secret to achieving that golden, crispy skin?
Well, Sarah, that is a fantastic question. The key to achieving that mouth-watering, crispy skin is to start with a dry turkey. Pat it down with paper towels and allow it to air dry in the refrigerator for several hours. You'll have the perfect canvas for crispy skin when you roast it.
Next, we have a letter from Michael in the great state of Texas. Michael writes, How can I make my turkey extra flavorful without too much fuss?
Well, Michael, you are in luck. One easy way to infuse flavor is by placing herbs, spices, and aromatics like garlic and onions inside the turkey's cavity. This simple trick will give your turkey an incredible depth of flavor with minimal effort.
Our third letter comes from Emily in the Big Apple. She says, I've always wanted to try brining my turkey, but I'm not sure where to start. Any tips for a novice like me?
Emily, brining is a fantastic choice. You can start with a simple saltwater brine, and don't forget to add some sugar and your favorite herbs or spices for extra flavor. Soak your turkey in the brine for at least 12 hours, and you will be amazed at the juiciness and the flavor that it adds.
Our next letter today is from Robert in sunny California. Robert asks, What's the secret to getting the turkey to cook evenly and avoid dry spots?
Well, Robert, the secret to even cooking is using a meat thermometer. Insert it into the thickest part of the turkey's thigh, and when it reads 165 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 74 degrees Celsius, your turkey is perfectly cooked. This simple tool ensures that you will not have any dry spots, and you'll serve a turkey that's safe to eat.
Thanks for converting that, Chef Allie.
You never know who's listening,
for our
right?
international audience.
That's right. We have some listeners overseas, so...
Nobody's writing from overseas about their turkey tips here. But Jenny in Wisconsin, she writes, Help! Last year, my turkey ended up drier than the Sahara Desert. It was so bad, my cat wouldn't even touch it. Any tips to avoid a poultry Sahara this Thanksgiving?
Oh, Jenny, we've all been there. First rule, don't cook your turkey longer than a Marvel movie. Invest in a meat thermometer, and remember, the goal is 165 degrees, not a day at the spa for your turkey.
Yeah, we don't have that conversion ready for you on that one. So
It's the same thing, remember, if you were listening.
Oh, 165?
No, 165 is an
right,
important...
74, you're right.
Is an important figure there.
That is the center of the universe when it comes to cooking turkeys. 160.
No, that's just edible turkey.
Okay. Bob in Texas sends in a gem. My attempt at deep frying a turkey turned into a neighborhood spectacle. The fire department showed up and my turkey flew like a hot air balloon. How do I save face this year?
Well, Bob, safety first. Make sure your turkey is completely thawed, and the only thing soaring should be your spirits, not the turkey. And maybe keep the fire extinguisher handy just in case.
I would say so. Our next submission comes from Gina in New York. Gina confesses, my mother-in-law declared my turkey stuffing as a crime against taste buds. Who writes this stuff? How do I spice it up without risking my marriage?
The delicate art of pleasing in-laws. Gina, get creative. Add some herbs, nuts, or even a dash of hot sauce. Just remember, it's your kitchen, not a courtroom drama. Spice it up and let the flavors do the talking.
All righty. From Tim in South Dakota. Tim writes, last Thanksgiving, my oven broke mid-cook. Is that like halfway through?
Yeah, like halfway through the
cooking?
the cooking process.
That's not good.
No.
I had to finish.
That bad.
That bad. I had to finish my turkey using the hairdryer and a toaster oven. Any tips for cooking without kitchen appliances? What? Hairdryer's not a kitchen appliance.
Tim, you're a culinary genius. But this year, let's stick to the basics. Make sure your kitchen is equipped, and if all else fails, consider calling in reinforcements. The turkey deserves better than a blow dry.
I think this might be the last one. Sarah from Florida. Sarah emails, my dog stole the turkey off the counter. I found him in the backyard with a feast fit for a king. How do I keep my turkey safe from four-legged foodies this year?
Oh, Sarah, pets and turkey heists are a classic combo. Try securing your kitchen fortress with baby gates or recruit a turkey guard. Just remember, the goal is a family feast, not a canine caper.
They're still taking calls. We'll have to use those for next year.
The line is busy.
That's right. Okay.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I hope I've been able to answer your turkey-related questions and help you prepare a fantastic feast for your family and friends. Remember, practice makes perfect, and don't be afraid to experiment with flavors. Happy cooking! Good night, and Turkey Talk with Chef Allie is signing off.
All right. Well, that went well.
I feel like June Cleaver with that music.
Get your beads. Little pearl beads. Well, we're going to have to do that one again next year.
That was fun.
We did have one leftover email that came to us that didn't really fit in with the format of that show. It's
well, there's always leftovers with Thanksgiving, as you know.
That's right. This is a leftover. I'd like to read this. This came from Jenny Thompson of Arkansas. It says, Dear Turkey Talk, I really don't have questions per se, but I wanted to share a story of a Thanksgiving turkey disaster that my family and I endured a few years back that turned a festive celebration into a chaotic culinary catastrophe. It all started with meticulous planning. We had decided to host Thanksgiving dinner at our home for the first time in years. I always considered myself a seasoned cook with a reputation for my delectable dishes.
That's a tough word.
That's a tough word for me. And I was determined to make last year's Thanksgiving unforgettable. The centerpiece of my feast was a grand golden brown turkey. I was so enthusiastic that I opted for a larger turkey than I had ever cooked before, a whopping 20-pound bird.
Whoa.
On Thanksgiving morning, I woke up bright and early, ready to tackle the culinary challenge. Little did I know, disaster lurked around the corner. As I prepared the turkey, I realized that I had underestimated the size of our oven. The colossal turkey barely fit, leaving little room for proper air circulation. Undeterred, I forged ahead, convinced that my culinary expertise would prevail.
Now imagine the 86-pound bird, and you had concerns about the oven with that bird, you know?
This is only 20.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Okay. My family gathered in anticipation as the aroma of roasting turkey filled the air. However, disaster struck when the oven emitted an ominous smell of burning and thick smoke billowed out. Panic set in when I opened the oven door to find the turkey not just golden brown, but bordering on charcoal black. That's not good. With the main dish ruined, we had to resort to an emergency plan. I quickly called the nearest grocery store, pleading for a pre-cooked turkey to salvage the Thanksgiving feast. The store had one last turkey available, but it was a fraction of the size I had planned for. As my family anxiously waited for the replacement turkey, I improvised with side dishes, appetizers, and desserts. So I guess she served those while the turkey was
So this is all on Thanksgiving. The family is already there.
Yeah. And,
which is, I know the way my mom's done it in the past is she's like prepared the turkey so that it's just ready the day before, and she's carved it, and it's just, and then all she has to do is just
warm it
reheat it in the oven. And that, I think, takes some stress away.
That's a good idea.
You know?
That's always worked for us. We never had that last minute, the turkey's not ready. Oh, actually, we did one year. What was that? She must have cooked it.
Something with the crock pot wasn't on because she was doing it in the crock pot or something.
Oh, that's right.
And then she thought it was cooking.
It wasn't plugged in.
It was a couple of turkey breasts because it was a smaller group that year.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, it's been cooking for a couple hours. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's not plugged in or whatever the issue was. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a disaster. But we improvised. But back to Jenny's story. The atmosphere in the kitchen shifted from disappointment to laughter as they realized the absurdity of the situation. After all, Thanksgiving is about more than just the perfect turkey. That's a great attitude, Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
When the replacement turkey finally arrived, it was met with cheers and applause. We all gathered around the table, giving thanks not just for the food, but for the unexpected adventure that had brought us all closer together. The disaster turned out to be a lesson in gratitude, reminding us that the essence of Thanksgiving lies in the love and laughter shared with family and friends. So in closing, our Thanksgiving turkey disaster initially seemed like a catastrophe, but it ultimately became a memorable and cherished part of our family lore. This story serves as a reminder that sometimes the most imperfect moments lead to the most perfect memories. So this Thanksgiving, if your turkey ends up a little too crispy or your pies a tad bit burned, remember that the true essence of the holiday lies in the joy of being together and giving thanks for the blessings in our life.
That's a great message. I feel like, what's his name from Charlie Brown? What's the best friend with the blanket?
Linus.
Linus. That seems like a message Linus would give.
Yes. And that's a great way to close out the show.
I will say it is those kinds of, memories or those kinds of stories that, you remember for years to come. You always remember the disasters on vacation that you laugh about later, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, that's why I wanted to read this. Thanks, Jenny. That's a nice letter. We appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that story. And it really does kind of tie things together for us. Let's close out with just a couple of other little tidbits here. Let's see here.
Daddy's making dinner. I've seen it all before. French fries black and burning, and meatloaf on the floor. Daddy's making dinner. The sugar bowl just broke. Fido ate the gravy. The house has filled with smoke. Daddy's making dinner, but I'm not one to moan. Soon he will surrender and go pick up the phone. Daddy made the dinner. Today's my lucky day. Dinner's in the trash can, and pizza's on the way.
You sound a little stuffed up there.
Also, couldn't enunciate very well back then.
You were like 11.
You always managed to find these gems that I forgot about.
I know, I've got the archives.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, Jerry hates it too, that I dig up these things from like when he was a dorky 17-year-old.
Do you, what's the brand I'm thinking of? Is it Marie Callender? What's the brand?
Yeah, Marie Callender.
Marie Callender.
Fantastic pot pies.
I don't know. There was a meme that was going around a few years ago of this lady that something went wrong with one of her pot pies. It was completely, it was like black and ashy. It was like this thing had been in the oven for like 2 days, right?
Uh-huh.
And she posted it to like Marie Callender's Facebook page and just said, "Thanks a lot, Marie Callender," and was like blaming them for her burned pot pie instead of taking ownership for the fact that it was probably forgotten about. Anyway, it's great. She did not live that down. Everyone was coming at her in the comments.
All right.
That's nice and tranquil.
Yes. Thank you so much, Allie, for swinging by. It was great having you back in the SmorgShow lair.
Yeah, it was great to be back.
Does it bring back memories being down here again?
It does, but you make it sound like I haven't stepped foot down here in
Years?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out here like every week or two just visiting.
Right, I know the people think that I like never come see you.
It's been a year.
that you're just waiting around in the basement waiting for me to drop by.
Please swing by your old man.
Right.
He's very lonely in his basement
No,
studio.
we hang out down here, and it's cozier and cozier every time I come down here.
Yeah, it's really changed over the years.
Got a candle burning.
That's right. Yeah, it smells good in here.
I mean, compare this to our first setup, which was on the kitchen island with a laptop and one microphone. Right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Radio Shack microphone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how we
No
started this whole thing.
soundproofing. Or
And
no,
then,
yeah.
Little did I know where that was leading. Every week, new additions to the studio, and now we've got this empire.
Right.
This broadcasting empire.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, and thank you for having me on the show, and I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And
Yes.
hope everyone is surrounded by family, friends. We have a lot to be grateful for.
We do.
Gobble. Gobble. Oh,
All right. This is the Smorgasbord Radio Show that you've heard so much about over the years. And I'm your host, Chris, with my daughter, Allie, the original SmorgShow Allie.
SmorgShow Alley.
SmorgShow Allie. And happy Thanksgiving. Not sure if we're going to fit in another show before the end of the year, but I think the turkey tips kind of go into Christmas, maybe. I think some people still do turkeys for Christmas. Who knows? But enjoy. We'll be back again very soon on the SmorgShow podcast. Thanks for listening. Take
Gobble,
care.
gobble. Oh.
Gobble, gobble.